Now, this is not how you want to play ace queen. And we got a good one to go over here. It's going to run for about 20 minutes. So what I want you guys to do is grab a bottle of water, some Gatorade, some coffee, and we're going to, get right into it. Also want to say, if you guys are not in our community yet, don't know why you're not in it, man. That's going to be in the pinned comment. You talk with me, other high-level members, a lot of good stuff in there. Also, if you could tap the like, and let's do this. And yeah, a lot of interesting spots in this one to go over. I put some bluffs in there that actually worked in my favor in this one, but I didn't play my best either. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I was definitely, I just ran good in this, and that's just how it goes sometimes. So let's do this. All right, King 8 suited. We got to open that King 8 suited. It's a monster. All right, player 3 is going to make the call here. Back to player 4. And, that's what you want to see when you open with King 8 from early position, right? All right, this guy called me. Turn card was an ace. This guy could have been floating us with, like, ace X, and it looks like he was. So, really good spot for us here. I came over the top here, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I thought maybe he makes this call with an ace. He didn't. He let it go, and I guess I just kind of overplayed my hand right there. But it's all good, man. It's all good. It is what it is. I thought maybe he would stack off because he only had like around the 300 piece left. I thought maybe he would, but it is what it is. Next one, we had an ace 9 offsuit. We are in the big here, so we are going to defend unless somebody gets really fancy, which they might. You never know. You never know. It is what it is. All right, player 1 taking forever here. Let's take a look at the table. Looks like the only one doing pretty decent was player 2. Start things off here. Whatever. All right, player 4 kicked it up to, I let it go. If it was suited, I probably would have just made that call, but not the ideal flop for us. Player 4 is basically saying he's got like ace king or some kind of mid pair. Either one, that's kind of what it felt like. Anyways, good fold there. Just let it go. Turn card was a queen anyway, so it wasn't going to make a difference to us. 9-3 off. We were folding this garbage. Couldn't even do it. I couldn't even do it. I thought about doing it, but I was like, why raise? Just let it go. All right, Jack 5. Gonna fold this. Another spot where there's just no reason to open here. We're letting it go. We're letting it go. But yeah, continue sticking with me because we definitely got some good spots in this for sure. Okay. Player 2, player 1. And the way I like in this one, it not so much, but really how I approach playing is just like exploiting opponents using GTO or whatever, or just like an ABC style. That's just how I approach playing. And it's definitely worked in my favor, and it's just how I do it. You know what I mean? So, at some point, you just got to realize you're playing against other people, and you're just trying to outplay the opponents at the table. That's what it is. You don't really need to overcomplicate it. Interesting raise from player 1. I don't know what he had, but interesting. It felt like player 2 probably opened with something decent. I don't know if player 1 maybe hit 2 pair there. All right, ace jack suited, very nice. And the other day I was talking about this. Ace. It's always like this. Ace jack and ace 10, when those two hands are offsuit, they're always so tricky to play. But when you get a flop like this, it ain't tricky. It ain't tricky whatsoever. And we flopped it, but we also have the straight flush draw. We didn't get it. No idea what player 3's got, but we're gonna try to go for some value. Little pot size. I'm hoping he just calls with a pair because to him, maybe he's got a pair and he thinks maybe I'm bluffing with a couple over cards, which is possible. He also might have a club too to go with a pair, but he didn't make the call. So he made a good fold. Don't know what he had, but I was hoping we'd get something out of that, but we didn't. It is what it is, right? All right, 8-3 suited, gotta fold it from early position. It's not a hand you want to open with ever, really. You know, unless you're just feeling it, which I would definitely not feeling it. Um, and yeah, all right, okay. All right, so starting things off here pretty solid. Nothing too big going just yet, but it's gonna get there, believe me. Jack 9 off. We are in the big here. You know, typically I will defend with this. Just depends though, you know. Obviously I'd prefer it to be suited, but it's not. All right, we're just gonna check it. We didn't have to think about it. Paired the 9 here. And we had what, player 1 and player 3 both limped into this. Now, something to be aware of from limpers, especially from any position, really, is like they will limp with, you know, like pocket sixes. You know, you'll get some inexperienced opponents limping with like pocket eights and pocket nines too. Those are all in the realm. I actually just let this go, you know. It just didn't feel right. So, but we would have turned the nine, so that definitely hurt, you know, but it is what it is. You know. I've seen it happen too many times when somebody, you know, limps from early position and they lead out like that, they typically flop something big, you know. All right, ace 10 off. We did pair the ace here. Kicker's pretty decent. We're also blocking the hearts, which is good. Hard to fold here, you know. Player 4 put in a small raise to this. Here's the thing. I let it go. Turn card was a 7. Don't know if I made the right play there, if I was just playing it too tight, but I let it go, you know. Tough one. Definitely a tough one. And don't judge me too hard on that, you know what I'm saying? Because we still got some stuff to go over here. So we have an ace king suited of spades. Probably the best ace king suited you can get, you know? So here we go. I believe I'm going to just open it here to the 1250 piece. Kind of hoping somebody raises us, you know? Another thing too, whenever any of you are put in a spot where you have ace king and it's suited, you really should have no fear with it whatsoever. You know what I mean? If somebody's raising you or going all in, you should, obviously you're just, what I'm getting at though is like when I've checked the data on this from me personally, like checking my own data, ace king when it's offsuit loses a lot, you know, but ace king suited, it really dominates. Like it cracks pocket aces, it cracks pocket kings, it cracks pocket queens when you don't flop an ace or a king and you just get like a flush. So when it's suited, what I'm getting at from my own data is just, you know, don't be afraid ever, you know, to call, you know, an all in or whatever. Just go all in with it because it cracks aces and kings, man. It really does. All right. Anyways, player 1's just gonna call here. Got nothing, but gonna continue here. Regardless, we do have you know, a lot of good turn and river cards. Obviously, runner spades, runner cards for straights. We get an ace or a king on the turn. Good card. That gives us a straight draw to the 10. We also have the spade still, and we have 2 overs to this board. So I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Gonna continue here, keeping it small. He's calling pretty quick. River card, we got there. Pretty good run out for us, obviously, right? We got the nuts. Now I'm just hoping player 1's got something. He actually led out here, which I thought was interesting. So, you know, clearly we got a raise, right? I mean, if he's going to lead out like that, I'm thinking this doesn't feel like a bluff. Maybe he got some 2 pairs in there. Maybe maybe he's doing this with top pair, you know, I don't know, but doesn't matter. We're raising it. I'm expecting him to call this like 9 out of 10 times. you know, especially because he let out, but he folded it. So I don't know what he had right there, but I would have expected a call, like I said, 9 out of 10 times. Pretty frustrating, you know, but it is what it is. All right, next one, we move on to an ace queen. So from an ace king suited to an ace queen, we move on. And another good one here, and starting to kind of go on a little bit of a roll, which is nice. All right, so player one limped. He doesn't have a whole lot left. Yeah, the limping thing is just kind of ridiculous, I feel like. Seeing a lot at this table in this one, a lot of the limps. It's kind of like, what are you doing, you know? All right, yeah, player four, taking a little bit to think about it. Don't know why. It's like, make your decision, dude. And he should be folding here, I think. Oh yeah, he folded, took forever to do it, and pretty standard open here on the button. I'm sorry, we're not on the button. We're in the small here. Just you know, 12.50 piece. All right, back over to player six, who had some ideas, and I think I want to say he's just gonna shove here. And, you know, obviously we're not folding. He didn't have a whole lot left anyways. I'd expect this guy to do this with maybe some like low to mid pocket pairs. And then you got all your like ace X's, you know. We don't want to see ace king, but there's just no way I'm folding this. So if player one would have, you know, called that, I probably would have, you know, gone over the top here anyways. So we're going to call it, and we're going to see what player six has got. And he's got kind of garbage. We just got to dodge a six, really. Good flop for us. He's running pretty thin here. There are some two pairs, obviously. Like if a four deuce comes, then it's going to be a split. But we were heavy favorites there, and we took it down. So ace queen high, we'll take it, we'll bake it, and yeah, that was a good one. All right, so now we're starting to work up a little bit. We still had a couple big ones coming, so I hope you're still with me. 10-6 off, folding it, molding it, folding it, whatever. All right, Jack King off. I think I'll call this one. All right, nothing doing here. Kind of a check fold spot. All right, he went for it right there. I just gave it to him, even though we would hit the king on the river, which was pretty disgusting, but whatever. Jack nine suited spades, definitely playing this one. See if we can get a good flop. And didn't really. I mean, there are some runner spot cards here, obviously, like with spades and straights. But yeah, not exactly ideal. You also got the backdoor flush, but yeah. Now we did get to the turn. If that 10 would have been a spade, that would have been something, but it wasn't. Player four is gonna continue here, probably as a pair of tens, and you know, I really can't continue here. We're just gonna let it go, especially with two players behind us. Let's see what the river would have been. And oh my, are you kidding me? Man, I've folded in this one in some spots where we just got it. Like, just brutal. Just brutal how that works sometimes. All right, I'm thinking I'm gonna take this one down. Let's see. Nope, he had a pair of deuces. I had to call the dude, but you know, whatever. All right, 3-4 suited. I love these 3-4 suiteds. You know, gonna open here. Hopefully flop something good. But when you got that 3-4 suited, man, you got that 3-4 suited. All right, back over to player 2. I think everyone just called here, yeah. All right, so nothing here. And this is kind of a check fold for now. But I was kind of surprised how this one worked out. So player 6, I think, is going to check 2. We paired the 3. I think I decided to put something out there just to see. It just felt like player 2 and player 3 it just looked like they didn't have anything, right? So I went with a decent sizing here, you know. Player 6 gonna call us. So now I'm thinking player 6 has probably got like a pair of 10s here, maybe like an ace 10 or a king 10, which is no good for us. But player 2 and player 3 just expecting to muck this just based on how this was going. And yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. So my instincts were right. River card was a jack. Going to check it. I'm hoping he just checks back, and I'm expecting to lose this one. But to my surprise, we're going to take it down. So maybe he was calling us with like ace king or ace queen or something. And he was a non-believer, very possible. And that's probably what happened right there, guys. So good stuff, right? Good stuff. When it went that 3-4. Oh, okay. Here we go, man. This is the spot. So we are gonna have a ace queen versus king 10 spot, which kind of brings us up to the final hand of this. Hope you guys have enjoyed what you've seen so far. And like I said, man, pin, comment, get in that community. Okay, so king 10 off. I had some ideas for this. It was just like the way this one, the run out on this hand was just something. You know, I'm not going to give anything away, but player 6 going to raise us, and you know, king 10 offsuit, it's not a very strong hand, right? It's like if it's suited, obviously you're going to make some calls with it when somebody raises you, like re-raises you, but when it's, you know, when it's offsuit, not so good. But you know what? I'm pretty confident in my game that I can make some things happen, especially like bluffing, which I do quite often. So I'm gonna call this, and we're gonna take a flop, and definitely not good. I mean, we're losing now to really, you know, any ace X, which I'm expecting this guy to have a lot of the time. Every once in a while, maybe pocket eights, but I'm thinking, you know, ace queen, ace, you know, ace jack suited, ace king, you know, those type of hands are all in the realm here. But I kind of stuck with this one, and you might be wondering why. And kind of just thinking maybe if I continue here, because he kept it pretty small as a continuation, I was thinking maybe I could bluff this guy. It's possible, right? Turn card was a 10, which gave us some help. Unless he has ace 10, we're in trouble. And he is going to barrel again here. I'm not sure how big he went. Pot is kind of up there. Now we got a piece of this. It's not the greatest piece, and you know, we're blocking pocket 10s. I'm not really putting him on that. More of those ace X type of hands. Put in a really big sizing here, which was interesting, but I am going to call, and it was probably a bad call until we saw this river card, and I was like, okay. So really not losing a whole lot. Ace 10, pocket 8s. I mean, those are really the only two things, but it doesn't even matter, you know. If he shoves here, obviously I'm going to call anyways. And if he's got like ace king or ace queen, we're also good, you know. Basically what's going to happen here is he is just going to shove. And obviously we're calling here. Now the good news for us is that, yeah, we're taking this down. So ace queen, he overplayed ace queen. I got super lucky on that runner. And I'll tell you what, man. Feeling good in the neighborhood. All right, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed another one here. Subscribe if you haven't. Get in that community, and we'll see y'all in the next one.